There's a weight on your shoulders, isn't there? A weight so heavy that some mornings it feels like it's crushing the very breath out of your lungs. You poured your heart and soul into this business, dreamed of building something that could change the game, that could outlast trends and setbacks. But somewhere along the way, that dream started to feel less like freedom and more like a prison. That fire that once burned bright now flickers weakly, suffocated by endless stress, overwhelming demands, and the feeling that no matter how hard you push, you're stuck in place, or worse. You're sinking deeper into a quicksand of responsibilities that don't stop growing. This isn't just tiredness. This is a deeper, sharper kind of pain. The pain of watching the thing you built start to own you instead of you owning it. Every call that comes in, every decision that needs to be made, every problem that pops up, it all piles on like stones on your back. You're not just managing a company anymore. You're managing anxiety, fear, the gnawing doubts that whisper, maybe this wasn't worth it. The hours extend. The team looks to you for answers. The investors want proof. And inside, you ask yourself, am I growing a business? Or am I growing a burden? That question is the crack in your armor. And if it's not faced, it will soon crack everything else. In your mind, your body, your relationships, your spirit. But here's the brutal truth. This isn't a sign you should give up. It's a clear, screaming signal that something fundamental is broken. The way this system conditions us to think about growth, success, and leadership is wrong, toxic even. Because it trains you to think bigger means heavier. More responsibilities, more stress, more sacrifices. But what if growing didn't mean piling on? What if growing meant shedding? What if the real secret to scaling wasn't doing more, but doing less? Not being trapped by everything, but liberating yourself from everything that isn't working? The first step is brutal honesty. You have to look at what's weighing you down, not just the obvious tasks and demands, but the invisible chains of your own mindset. The belief that you have to be the hero 24/7, that you must say yes to everything because the business depends on you. The myth that only you can do things right. These thoughts, these self-imposed chains, are the unseen burden, heavier than any workload. Until you shatter this illusion, you're just dragging your business through the mud. Here's some tough love. No founder, no leader should do everything alone. This isn't a badge of honor. It's a trap. Building a business that doesn't burn you out means building a system, a team, processes, culture that carry the load alongside you. You are not a machine. You are the spark, the originator, and your job is to protect that spark, to give it room to breathe, to focus on what only you can do. But that means ruthlessly cutting away everything that takes you away from that. Meetings that could be emails, tasks that could be delegated, decisions that belong to someone else. The business shouldn't be your burden. It should be the reflection of a system built smart, flexible, and scalable. This is not easy. It's not about quick hacks or pretending everything's fine. It's about transformation, about knowing the difference between noise and signal, between what moves you forward and what pulls you under. Because the world around you, it's screaming for more speed, more output, more grind. But true growth, real, sustainable growth, comes from clarity, from alignment with what matters most, from the courage to say no and the discipline to stick to what works. It demands you to be selective, critical, and patient, to build networks that lift you up instead of chains that chain you down. And here's where it gets electrifying. Because once you start shedding the burden, something extraordinary happens. You begin to feel that ancient power come back. the power of the liberated individual, the power to create space for true innovation and impact. You stop chasing other people's definitions of success and start building your own reality. No longer a cog in someone else's machine, but a sovereign force with clear intent and unstoppable momentum. This is where the rare meet, where vision becomes reality, where misaligned brilliance finds its tribe. The few who reject the comfort of the status quo, who scorn shallow consensus, who say no to the lies the system sells. They don't just build businesses, they build legacies. But they don't do it alone. They align with other mavericks, other outliers, whose strengths complement their own, creating a network that amplifies the powerful uniqueness of each member. If you're still with this, feeling that pulse inside that refuses to die, it means you're not okay settling for the burden you carry now. You want more. You want freedom from the chaos, clarity in the noise, connection in the loneliness. You want to burn bright again, to lead not just a business, but a movement, one that transcends borders, titles, and outdated rules, one where your will is your weapon, where you question everything, where you transform your reality instead of being trapped by it. Start by asking yourself, what is truly necessary? What is draining my energy, stealing my fire? What parts of this business am I holding on to because I'm afraid to let go? Strip all of that away. Then build steps with surgical precision. Find those few people who burn as fiercely as you do, because success built in isolation is brittle. Success built in alignment is unstoppable. Growth is not about carrying more. Real growth is about becoming more. Becoming who you are, meant to be, when the noise falls away and the real work begins. The work of shaping a life and a business that serve you, not the other way around. It's about seizing your sovereignty and using the weight that once crushed you as fuel to rise higher than ever before. Your business isn't supposed to be a burden. It's supposed to be your freedom, the mirror that reflects your strength and vision, the vehicle for your impact on this fractured, illusion-filled world. You were meant for more than just survival. You were meant to thrive, to defy expectations, to remake the rules altogether. So, the choice is yours. Keep dragging the weight, or start shedding it. Start building a future where business grows, but the burden shrinks. Where you lead with purpose, partnered with rare allies, and move with deliberate power. If you feel trapped now, that's exactly where transformation begins. Because the burden you carry today is the signal that you're ready to break free and build something extraordinary. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. There is no magic shortcut, only relentless clarity, fierce selectivity, and unwavering patience. Embrace the discomfort, reject the noise, align with the few who burn as you do. Grow not just a business, but your power, your freedom, your future. The burden ends where the real growth begins. It's time to step into that growth.